Archer, a collaboration character highly anticipated by many players, will finally be released in the upcoming patch alongside Saber, whom I discussed in my previous video. If you haven't watched that video yet, I recommend watching the one about Saber first because her kit is extremely cool, guys. Overall, Archer is a single target DPS character with a unique kit that delivers massive, continuous attacks on a single target as long as he has skill points. Additionally, this character is planned to be distributed for free to all players, so we can all try out this awesome character. So, without further ado, I'm Hoyo Station and we will dive into the full kit of Archer version 3.4. Let's do this. Do you have a character or weapon in the game that you really want but you don't have enough Stellar Jades? Here's a smarter way to recharge your favorite games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. Look no further than Lootbar. Lootbar is the most reliable top-up platform. It saves up to 23% for all orders compared with the official channel, and it provides an 80% off for your first purchase. It's 100% safe as you will only be using your UID. We will buy pack for 3000 Stellar Jades for $42, which otherwise would have costed $50. Totally saving $7.5. We received the crystals we purchased in the less than 3 minutes. All recharges will be done through the official channel with miHoyo, which allows you to enjoy all top-up offers. Ready to level up your gaming experience? Check the link in the description to get the amazing discount. Alright, before we dive into Archer's kit, I want to give you a heads up that the information I'm sharing in this video is still in the beta stage. There might be some changes to the kit in the future. As you know, Archer is a character who will be released with Finan and Saber in version 3.4. He is a quantum type with a hunt path, meaning he can deal extremely powerful single target attacks and certainly serve as the main DPS on a team. He can unleash massive attacks through his skills and ultimate, especially his skill, which can be used up to 5 times in a row. He also has a unique ultimate from the anime series Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works. Additionally, he can perform follow-up attacks that grant skill points with each strike. Currently, when you hear about the excessive use of skill points, Sparkle is undoubtedly the first support character that comes to mind. With the help of Sparkle's ultimate ability, which restores 4 skill points, Archer's kit can function at its full potential. Alright, let's start with the base stats. Archer's base HP is similar to that of other characters on a similar path, such as Fei Xiao, who has 1087 points. However, his base HP is 200 points lower than Boot Hill's. This makes sense because Boot Hill can make his enemies attack him through his skill, so he needs extra HP, right? Meanwhile, Archer has a relatively low base speed of 105 points compared to the 2 characters mentioned earlier. One notable aspect is Archer's high maximum energy of 240 points. In fact, his energy requirements exceeds the Herta's maximum energy by 20 points. This can be addressed through his gameplay mechanics, which allow him to use skills repeatedly and automatically grant more energy. However, he requires a main support character that can provide skill point bonuses to achieve this. This character is Sparkle, who can increase the number of skill points through her ultimate ability. First, I will discuss an important skill, Kellet Bulk 2, Fake Spiral Sword. However, before discussing its effects, I should mention that it requires 2 skill points each time it's activated. After using this skill, Archer enters Circuit Connection status and deals 400% quantum damage to one enemy. While in Circuit Connection status, Archer's turn does not end after using the skill. They also gain a damage boosting buff equal to 100% from the skill, which can stack up to 2 times until exceeding Circuit Connection status. In this mode, Archer can use his skill multiple times, up to a maximum of 5 consecutive uses. Using this skill again after 5 consecutive uses or when skill points are insufficient will exceed the Circuit Connection status and end their turn. Additionally, Archer will automatically exit Circuit Connection status after defeating all enemies in each wave. The effect of this skill is pretty good, guys. Essentially, Archer attacks one enemy and this can be done up to 5 times. The maximum number of skill points that can be used is 10. Unfortunately, this number can only be achieved by having at least 6 skill points and Sparkle on the team. This method is to use the skill twice, then use Sparkle's ultimate, and finally use the skill 3 more times. Thus is another way, which is to use the skill of a character named Hanya, who can give additional skill points to all team members. However, unlike Sparkle, getting additional SP with Hanya is a little more complicated because it requires perfect timing. Of course, as overall, one biggest drawback of this skill is that teammates must use minimal skill points or provide additional points, such as Gallagher and Sparkle. One thing you must pay attention about this skill is that it grants 30 energy each time it's used. Therefore, it's essential to use it multiple times to meet its fairly high energy requirements. Next, we will move on to his ultimate move. It's featured in several showcase videos and has some pretty cool animations. It's called Unlimited Blade Works, the name of the attack used by Archer in the anime series. This ultimate ability deals 1200% quantum damage to a single enemy and grants 2 charges, with a maximum of 4 charges that can be stored. These 2 charges are used to activate a follow-up attack, which can be triggered through his talent. Although this ultimate ability is fairly straightforward, it can deal extremely high damage due to its damage multiplier, one of the highest in the game. Next, we will discuss Archer's talent, Mind's Eye True. When his teammates attack enemies, he consumes 1 charge and launches a follow-up attack on the main enemy. This attack deals quantum damage equal to 240% of his attack and restores 1 skill point. This talent's effect does not deal as much damage as his skills or ultimate, I know. However, the most important aspect of this talent is the skill point restoration, which greatly assists Archer in maximizing his skill usage. At its maximum stacks, this talent can provide 4 skill points, which are highly beneficial given Archer's demanding skill points requirements. We will also discuss Archer's technique called Clairvoyance. After using this technique, Archer immediately attacks the enemy. In battle, Archer deals quantum damage to all enemies equal to 200% of his attack and gains 1 charge. This technique is effective because it increases the initial charge to 2 when combined with the effect of his second trace. With the additional charge at the start of the battle, we will gain at least 1 extra skill point, which is useful for managing skill usage at the beginning. Alright, now we will move on to his traces. The status we obtain from his minor traces provides an additional quantum damage boost of 22.4%, HP of 18%, and critical rate of 6.7%. These minor traces are useful because they provide a significant boost to quantum damage. This is beneficial for increasing damage output since he is the main DPS. The minor traces that provide critical rate also help increase critical value. This allows us to aim for a high critical rate since characters with the hunt path require a high critical rate to ensure attacks trigger critical hits. Alright, now we will move on to the first trace, named Guardian. Once teammates have obtained 4 or more skill points, Archer's critical damage increases by 60% for 1 turn. The effect of the first trace is quite good, but we need a teammate who can provide a large number of skill points to activate it. Sparkle is one of the best supports for this purpose. We also need to pay attention to our skill points in battle because the critical damage boost lasts only 1 turn. The second trace, Hero of Justice, grants an additional charge when Archer enters battle. This trace's effect is useful for helping Archer obtain additional skill points. Interestingly, when combined with the effect of his technique, Archer starts the battle with 2 charge, which can be used to fill 2 skill points. Also, the final trace is Projection Magecraft. When Archer is on the field, the maximum skill points they can hold increases by 1, bringing the total to 6. Honestly, these traces have excellent effects. We can activate his skill up to 3 times in one go. Combining with this effect with Sparkle's talent, Red Herring increases the maximum skill points that can be stored to 8. This further enhances the skill mechanics, allowing us to deal massive damage in a single instance. Finally, we come to the last section of the kit, the EIDOLON section. The first EIDOLON is named the Unreached Dream. After using a skill 3 times in 1 turn, Subsequent skill usage will not consume skill points. This first Eidolon effect is quite good, especially for reducing the skill point consumption issue for Archer. This is certainly a practical solution if you don't currently have Sparkle. With this Eidolon, Archer can attack 4 times in a single turn alone. The effect of this Eidolon is also quite good overall because it reduces the amount of SP used when using skills. The second Eidolon, the Unfulfilled Happiness, increasing Archer's ultimate damage by 120%. While this Eidolon's effect is fairly simple, it significantly increases damage output because the ultimate's damage is increased by 120% from its high multiplier of 1200%. However, the second Eidolon's effect only increases the ultimate's damage and does not benefit other skills. The fourth Eidolon, the Unsung Life, applies Quantum Weakness and reduces the enemy's Quantum Resistance by 10% for 2 turns if the enemy targeted by Archer's ultimate does not have the Quantum Weakness type. Again, the fourth Eidolon only increases Archer's ultimate damage. The interesting part is that it can apply Quantum Weakness and reduce the enemy's Quantum Resistance. This allows Archer to attack enemies without Quantum Weakness at all. Note that Quantum Weakness only applies while Archer's ultimate is active. After the ultimate ends, the enemy will no longer have Quantum Weakness. And lastly, Archer's final Eidolon, the Endless Pilgrimage. It immediately grants 1 skill point. It also increases the maximum stack of damage boost granted by its skill by 1 stack. Damage dealt through his skill ignores 20% of the enemy's defense. At the start of the battle, this Eidolon increases the number of skill points and boosts the damage boost provided by his skill to 3 stacks, resulting to 300% total damage increase from his skill. Additionally, his skill ignores the enemy's defense, significantly increasing Archer's damage output. This is understandable as it's the 6th Eidolon, which is relatively difficult to obtain. Okay, in the next section, we will discuss Archer's signature icon, the Hellwire Ideal's Burn. It increases the user's critical rate by 16%. After entering battle, if the maximum skill points are greater than or equal to 6, the user's stack will increase by 40%. After launching a skill, the user's attack increases by 10%, stacking up to 4 times. The effects of this icon are interesting and suitable for Archer's kit because it provides a critical rate stat, which is useful for characters on the hunt path that require a high critical rate. Additionally, the attack boost can increase up to 40% if the user casts the skill 4 times, which Archer can maximize in one go. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any information about the duration of this attack power boost, so I assume it lasts until the battle ends. The Latcon's weakness is that we can only maximize its effects with certain team compositions or characters. For example, the 40% attack boost effect only activates if the user has 6 or more skill points in battle, and currently, this effect can only activate under 2 conditions. Currently, there are 2 characters in Honkai Star Rail that can increase the maximum skill point obtainable, using Archer or using Sparkle or using both. Okay guys, maybe that's all for now. What do you think about Archer? Do you want to pull him in the next version? Please type in the comments down below. And don't forget to check out my other videos because they are no less cool. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video.